Welcome to the Valder Beebe Show, live out of Dallas, Texas. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Having a great day. It's been a great week, and I want my audience to know I'm speaking with Jordan Crenshaw. He's the Senior VP of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Technology Engagement Center. Jordan, I'd like to get started because I'd like to know how are small businesses using emerging technologies like the infamous AI and crypto. How are they using it to make their businesses better, faster, bigger, richer?
Well, what we found is that small business owners that are embracing technology like AI are thriving. And nearly 60% of small businesses nationwide are embracing generative artificial intelligence, which is a record high. And a great example, Jeremy Denson, who's over in Fort Worth, who owns Bison Coolers, actually has said Gemini has really enabled him to focus on growth and really helped him cut down his time by about 5 hours a week on some back end work so he can actually engage with customers. And so it's a real game changer for small businesses. But then, we also looked at crypto. And what we found was actually really interesting there too, is that about a third of small businesses in Texas are using some form of cryptocurrency.
That's interesting. In what way are these digital tools helping us as small businesses to grow and to compete in the marketplace?
Well, small businesses don't necessarily have the same resources that larger ones have when it comes to getting started, like finances and time. And AI is really a great force multiplier for them to get a leg up and compete. And what we're finding, some of the innovative ways that small businesses are using this is it's things like streamlining marketing, and it's finding products in places that aren't hit as hard by tariffs or inflation, or even designing products. And what we're finding is AI is working. 82% of small business owners nationwide reported, those that are using generative AI, that they experienced increased employment last year. So it is a big deal for small businesses who have small resources to get off the ground.
I know the Chamber did this report, so this is where the data comes from. Tell me, did the report look at the risk of new regulations that they impose on small businesses who adopt AI?
Yes, and one of the things we found, and small businesses, they, as I mentioned earlier, don't have those resources to compete like larger companies, and that also comes to having to hire teams of lawyers and compliance officers, which means if you have complex regulations, that's a tax on small business. And what we found is that there's a record number of small business owners, and 63% in Texas, by the way, who are concerned about a state-to-state patchwork of regulations that would be impossible to comply with, especially those companies who may be operating across state lines online, who are small, like retailers, for example, could get dinged with California regulations, even if they live and work out of Dallas. And so that's why it's so critically important that we have a federal framework in place that stops states from creating a confusing patchwork of state laws. But we also heard the same on crypto as well, where 7 in 10 small businesses said that if there was some more certainty and clarity around regulations there, they'd be more likely to use the tech as well. So the big point here is we need predictability, certainty, and clarity when it comes to small business success for tech.
As you probably know, I'm based in Dallas. I broadcast nationally, but I'm based in Dallas. I'm always concerned about Dallas. It's a robust business community. I think we're even getting a Federal Reserve, offshoot down here. So business is good. But as we take these steps to integrate these AI tools, what information did the report say about that?
Well, one of the things I think that when we're looking at integration, some of the concerns out there are, will there be people who are trained for AI who we can bring on? Will the regulatory environment be favorable? Texas has generally had a much more favorable environment when it comes to regulations than other states. But at the same time, training is going to be key. And so there are a lot of great resources out there I'd recommend. I've talked to small business owners who've even used YouTube to self-teach some of the basics. But to get a little bit more in-depth dive, we have great resources at the U.S. Chamber. Our partner Co. As well also has great resources on this. And finally, I would encourage you to work with local chambers like the Dallas Chamber or Texas Association of Business, who also work to put on trainings as well for small business owners on how to prompt. So it's critically important that we make sure that we're working together with both government and the private sector to ensure we have a trained workforce for AI.
Jordan Crenshaw, great advice. I want to thank you for stopping by the Valder Beebe Show. You've made my day.
Thank you so much. Great talking with you.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to youtube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.